aga seal on mitu all on olemas.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the seminar. We are just accepting the remaining participants, and soon we will start the overview of the procurement and implementation requirements that have been compiled by the Ministry of Finance of Estonia. And with me, besides me, the presenters are Anastasia Semyonova, and together we will we're coming time. Okay, and together we will have, let's say, around 1 hour of this. We will present you the most important information that we have say gathered from this procurement documentation, and afterwards we will have questions and answers, and now we have some yes, and here are the rules of the meeting. That as there are so many of you, and we might have lots of questions, then please post your questions in the Teams chat. Anastasia will review them, and when we have time for the questions, we will try to answer them, but we maintain the right not to answer them at the moment verbally, because some questions need to be, we need to consider the answer because our answers are formal and have to be based on the documentation provided in this procurement registry. So therefore, you will get your answers anyway, just not today, but within the, let's say, within several days from now on. Because, and of course, if your question, you can't ask it at the moment, you can always use the procurement registry in order to post your question, and then we are obliged to answer to it. So please be informed about these rules. And we are recording this meeting at the moment, so and we ask you to not to use ask anything verbally, because otherwise it will get very loud and chaotic. And also, it's very important to inform you again that this presentation is not substituted to the tender documentation, meaning that everything that is written in this documentation is still valid and remains valid. And we just try to highlight something that is important for you to consider when you're preparing for your offer. So let's move on after acknowledging these rules. So we have a couple of, let's say, paragraphs here. We would like you to follow us. First, in intro, I will talk about what is ERIS, what is what's behind this acronym, and then we will talk about facts and figures, meaning the timeframes and budget for this procurement. And later on, we will talk about what we are seeking in this procurement, what are the requirements, etc. And then we will go to the evaluation side to talk about how we are assessing the eligibility of the offer, and later on, what are the assessment criteria. And final topic is what will be the outcomes of this procurement, what we want to achieve with this procurement. Okay, let's go on. So as you have read already, that Estonia is very committed to the performance-based budgeting, meaning that besides financial information that we want to, let's say, manage in our state budget, also we want to include there this strategic information, meaning the objectives, metrics, etc. That's why we are kind of unique in our way how we are handling or building and managing, let's say, central government's budgets. So that's why our requirements are based on this same philosophy or methodology. And what is, let's say, behind this acronym ERIS? ERIS stands for, in Estonia, it means that this is Estonian state budget information system. And for our own perspective, it relies on two pillars, which is data management and processes. And based on our current and previous experience using the other platforms, now we are seeking to consolidate all the processes, or at least most of them, into one single platform, because this way we can make everything go faster, meaning that the information is shared in one platform. We don't need to jump around using different ways how to communicate with different layers of government, from bottom up and from top towards down. Very important for us is more or less automating the data processing side, meaning that we can apply different kind of error control methods and validation rules, so that when people are entering information or processing it, we can actually see what kind of errors will appear. And other part is that create a single source of truth, that we have one environment where our data is being managed, and we can always use different, we can use versioning, so that there will be, let's say, current existing version of certain, let's say, budget or their previous versions, but we don't want to have them in different environments or different locations. So this is something we have learned. And collaboration between ministries and agencies, as I mentioned, that this vertical, let's say, cooperation from top down, bottom up, also this diagonal, meaning that sometimes different ministries need to share information or conduct certain transfers and so on. So this way also we will get better decision, because information is kept in maintained in one way and in one place. What we also try to mitigate is the limitations in this capacity handling or data throughput, meaning that when we have, let's say, a peak season or this high season where, let's say, hundreds of users are in parallel using the platform, we want to have this platform as stable as possible without this kind of interruptions, because our decision makers rely on our ability to provide a constant flow of new, let's say, versions for this budget strategies, and we need to be, let's say, able to support them 24/7. And so that this is the requirement. And accessibility to information, as we have Estonian, let's say, central government is very decentralized, meaning that all the line ministries are plan and execute their budgets on their own, meaning that we want to have all these users to be able to serve themselves as much as possible. This means the self-service, that all this usability side, so that they can create their own reports, and they can share these reports with each other. So this is important. Not that. So this is great. And the stakeholder side. So besides Minister of Finance, who is the organizer and let's say buyer in this procurement, we also have other ministries and their subordinate agencies, altogether 150 different, let's say, organizations. Plus we have constitutional institutions, which are a bit different in the way how they are compiling their budgets. But altogether there is 160 organizations that are part of this, that will be using this platform. So this is the, let's say, ideology or the reasons why we are procuring what we are striving to get from this procurement. Let's move forward. So, facts. Estonian language is the official language in this procurement, meaning that all the formal documentation that we have provided will be in Estonian, and all the, let's say, the documentation that that will be provided during this implementation. For example, this handover documentation, or this manuals will be provided also in Estonian, because this way we can maintain the readability, and also this, we can understand what we mean, because the terminology is we have developed our own terminology, and we want to maintain it. We don't want to mix it with English, and thus otherwise we will don't understand each other. Of course, we can agree that during certain implementation phases, we are mixing this language with English, for example, because this way it's easier to move fast forward. But all the outcomes have to be, and all this written documentation that will be handed over during this, let's say, demonstrations, and all this has to be in Estonian. Otherwise, we just might not understand each other perfectly. So that's why this is the language part is important for us. And dates and timeframes. You know, there is asterisk on this top right corner. It means that all the dates and timeframes are estimated, and they might change given the circumstances. So, but at the moment, what stands on the table is that we are seeking to get your offers no later than 9th of February 2026 and 11 a.m. local time. So, and we have no plan at the moment to postpone this deadline any further. And after this, receiving your offers, we start conducting different eligibility and assessments and other assessment in order to decide what kind of offers are suitable for further evaluations. And we try to achieve the moment that who will be the preliminary successful bidder. It will be late of March, and our ambition is also to start negotiating the framework agreement, and this already platform implementation part already in April, so that in May 26 we start already conducting the first introductions and first kickoffs in this implementation part. And all the documentation regarding this, what is the content of this framework agreement, is given to you. So there is this draft agreement template is available, so you can read exactly what we have written there, and this agreement part is solid from our part, meaning that negotiation side is not available from this in this document. And what we seek to, when we seek to complete the implementation part is 17 months from the signing of this framework agreement. So if you sign in April, then let's say all the phases except the user consultation part have to be finished by October 27. Okay, and now let's talk about budgets. So we have a budget for this procurement is 7.2 million euros, and 6.2 million euros of this is financed by European Union. And we are very, and our estimation that how this we could break down this budget into two parts is that 5.7 million euros would be used to cover the cost of licenses, either the base amount and additional units on top of it for the duration of this framework agreement for 4 years in max, and 1.5 million euros will be spent on implementation project. And later on, I will also describe what we mean by inclusive of cost, meaning that all the costs that all the activities that are covered in this implementation project that you will present to us has to be included in this cost of this implementation project. So, and all the figures are without any VAT. So this is the, let's say, layout of this budget side. Let's move on. So what we seek, licenses. Okay, as I mentioned already previously, that Estonia's way of building up the state budget is that at all the ministries and agencies, they plan their own budgets, and therefore we have, let's say, we need a lot of licenses, and as a base level, we have estimated there will be need for 1,500 units, and these units will be, this is like a guesstimate, not like a direct estimate. We will use 15% of them will be modelers, meaning the ones who are actually compiling the cost models, who are, let's say, managing the, let's say,
source data.
Source data, and they are the ones who actually are using the, let's say, most of the functionality of this platform. And then we have regular users who might also be engaged in data modifications on entries, but they are not the ones who are building these cost models. And about around a quarter of the units will be used for, let's say, more this managers who are the ones who are approving or viewing certain, let's say, are engaged in certain phases of these processes where they have to, let's say, oversee some proposals for budget changes or something similar. So that's why they are not, they don't create new content, but they give approvals or review proposals. And a small amount of, that's 1% or less, are for administrators. Basically, we are seeing that around 10 people we require to have this admin level license. And also, we want to have an option to purchase additional licenses by 100 unit packages, meaning that we don't know at the moment if we need more than 1,500 units as licenses, but we might need to have it, and therefore there will be. We want to have this option that when we see that, for example, during the training in 2027 summer, we see that the influx of this people who need to have training is bigger than 1,500. We will give an assessment that how many actually we need to incorporate to the production environment, and then we will issue an order to purchase these licenses. And later on, I will also explain how this 100 unit packages, how we are, what kind of pricing information we want to get from you. And also what is written in bold here is that due to our financing terms, we can, we are obliged to pay for the license orders upfront and once, meaning that we can't use a subscription method like in Netflix, for example. But when we say that we want to buy 1,500 units, then we will pay this invoice once and upfront, so without slicing it to several years. So this is important for you to consider. Functionality. So I will go through in a couple of slides that what are the core functionality that the platform must have. For example, we have main processes that all actually include several sub-processes, which are quite, these are budget planning, budget changes, and budget execution and reporting. So these are like 3 pillars, and beneath them, there are several different, let's say, sub-processes. And as I have written on this blue text, that we will prepare this input and our understanding at how we would like to, what we want to achieve with these processes. But let's say the winner, or meaning that this platform experts, they have to compile based on these inputs their solutions, meaning that they have to write or analyze this input and also create these diagrams that are reflect our needs and how we, for example, what kind of coordination sequences or this kind of how this top down and from and so on, how this information is being shared between different parties in the government. And but we will provide this input, but as we don't know the platform yet, we can't explain ourselves very clearly when it comes to this, let's say, final solutions in this way. Okay. And also in this top right corner, I have this a reference to terminology part, meaning that we are using in Estonia very specific terminology, and we have given our best in order to explain all the used terminology in this Tehniline kirjeldus document that you can find yourself, and in the further dialogues or this implementation project, we stick to this terminology so that this way we can all each other understand it, and we are not creating any discomfort when it comes to sharing or understanding. Data management is also very important, as I mentioned, besides this process management, meaning that all the information that people are using in a platform, we also need to be able to apply certain rules there or create different, let's say, arrays, create different hierarchies. For example, this strategic management, planning hierarchies, KPIs, this is very important for us. And also budget classification, cost modeling, versioning, etc. So we have described in a very clear way that what we actually seek from this platform, that what the platform has to support. So please be informed. Business logic and rules, again, as we seek to have that the platform is able to, in a way, guide the user when it comes to manipulating data, then also we need to be able to set their rules and logic that how the platform could protect the integrity of the data from, let's say, uncareful, let's say, user. So this way we have, and also different kind of procedures. For example, consolidating, let's say, from bottom up this consolidation, for example, and also carryovers from 1 year to another of this resources. So this way we have our own understanding how it has to be done, and that's why we need to be able to, let's say, implement these rules. Also, we have centrally managed reports. There are around 10 of them at the moment, maybe more. And this means that these templates, they are based on data sets. So we have given you in this procurement registry a certain list of rules per each template, but definitely the rules might change because the data structure will change, and so. But you can have some kind of understanding at how this should work, and Regarding the integrations, configurations, we have very modest expectations. What is the user identification? We expect that the platform has is able to use OpenID Connect protocol, because we want to use Estonian government provided identity service called TARA, which has open source, which has all the, let's say, requirements are available in internet, because we want to use this TARA, because this way we can identify all the users, and this way we don't need to, let's say, create something on our own when it comes to user identification. There is only one software component, custom component that we seek to develop during the implementation project, and this component is used in order to import execution transactions. We have, and this can be done directly either from SAP database, or there is also available to import these transactions from intermediary database, and we will agree this exact solution with the architects between both parties. So this is the only part where we are seeking to build this custom component, and later on we have provided ample information how this software development, what kind of frameworks, what kind of hygiene levels have to be applied, and this is also given in this appendixes of this documentation. And thirdly, we have need to get access to this user-related logs. For example, we want to track what somebody has conducted or done in this platform. That's why we need to agree during this implementation phase that how we can access what kind of APIs to use and what kind of how we can access to it. So also that information what we are seeking in this term is provided in documentation. What I want to focus at the moment is the complementary functionality, because as the name refers, it's complementary, it's not necessary, it's not mandatory, but that this functionality gives you rather many points in this procurement process. But as I said, that this is not mandatory, so each of you can review it yourself and think about what your platforms are offering or not. So this is the functionality side. Technical conditions. We have also provided you rather specific or requirements when it comes to what kind of platform we are seeking for. The platform we are seeking for is not on-prem, it's SaaS, meaning that it's a service, software as a service, meaning that we don't want to build our own infrastructure that will house this application, but and this platform can consist of from multiple modules, meaning that and also what is the very important requirement from our side is that this platform has to support this no any hard-coded configuration, meaning that we can configure our business rules, business processes, etc., using the built-in tools or configuration tools or modules, etc. But and we don't want to start maintaining any let's say custom code besides this integration component that I described several slides ago. So this is something that that we have set as a requirement. And the rest of the requirements here, data encryption, this is kind of hygiene, and we have limited data warehouses where the platform can be housed only for few you remember them. It's Amazon, Azure, and Oracle clouds. And data processing has to be conducted within EU only. So we don't want anything to be shared with any outside of EU borders. And hygiene side, also the compliance with GDPR and existence of valid ISO 27001 certificate also has to be presented in this offer. So these are our technical conditions. Let's move forward. Okay, how we are assessing or evaluating your offer. Let's see. First of all, offer eligibility, meaning that before we start assigning any points to your offer, we will see if the offer and its contents are actually eligible. And we have provided you a list of criteria for this. And first of them, what is probably takes a lot of effort from your side, is the completion of test assignment. And my colleague Anastasia will further on describe it in a more detailed way, and I will just cover other topics in this slide. So besides completing test assignment, the team from the provider side, implementation team, has to consist of at least one consultant that has to match the requirements that are set for this person's education and know-how of Estonian public sector finances. This is vital because this person is basically the bridge between successful implementation and relaying or requirements or expectations towards the platform team or the platform experts who know how to let's say, build and configure it. And without it, it's rather we cannot just understand each other very well. But also the provider side project manager, this person has to have a previous experience in implementing the same platform in other projects as well, because we need steady hands. Implementation project that you will be providing us also has a set of requirements, and we have given you very strict what's called inputs, what this implementation project has to consist. For example, we have broken down this project into several phases. We have set very specific outcomes for each phase. And also, we expect you to give estimations regarding the timeline, that how much time it will take to complete each phase based on your previous experience and your understanding, and also how much man hours you need to from your side in order to complete each phase, and also the cost side as well. Because as I mentioned, that all the costs that will be carried during the implementation project, they have to be presented in this cost of the implementation project figure, and this way we can actually understand that how you are understanding the, let's say, the effort that requires to implement what we have sought for. And also references. This is a qualification criteria for the platform provider. So within last 3 years, at least provider has to conduct at least 2 implementation projects within companies that are bigger than 100 employees each. And only exception is to this public sector organizations that can be 250 employees strong. And the amount of licenses per implementation project must be bigger than 50. Anastasia.
Yeah. Good afternoon from my side. I will briefly introduce you a test assignment. First of all, why we decided to make it, and it's quite big, as Rein already mentioned. So the main goal is to see your platform in action, and also to give you a possibility to gain knowledge about our processes as well, so you will know what is waiting for you if you win the tender. So the logic behind is inspired by real processes, but it's simplified. You cannot take it one-to-one exactly. So it's really simplified, but it gives you some examples how it actually happens in Estonia. So what it includes, one big part is pre-setting. So we give you all the test data. It's not big amount. It's not a load test. We give you descriptions. We give you even some indicative data model. Feel free to configure it because we don't know exactly how your platform is working, but we just give you some thoughts. And when the pre-setting is done, then you can move to the test cases, tasks. Very important is to do them in the order that is provided, so not to jump from first to the last one or something. So one by one, because the result of the one task might be prerequisite for the next one or another one. And please note that all tasks should be completed. So in test assignment, we will not give you any points of how good you have done this test assignment. It just should be done, and it should meet the acceptance criteria, which are quantitative, almost 100%. There are a couple of examples I will show you. And we're waiting that from you a video recording of completing all these 15 tasks. And also, it would be nice to have a possibility, not would be nice, we require it, to have a possibility to log in and reproduce it by ourselves if we will have some doubts or something. So it's most probably we will not do it, but if something will be suspicious, we would like to have this opportunity.
Also, I will amend your last phrase that in case of doubt, we might ask the representative of the platform to conduct us this live presentation of the completion of the test assignment. Meaning that, for example, if certain step is unclear for us how the outcome was reached, we ask this person to just make this go through the steps again, so that we can actually get this impression that everything was done in this properly, without this kind of jumping from one page to another, or without or skipping certain intermediate tasks. Okay.
Yeah. Next one. So I hope you all have already scrolled down the test assignment document. But just to give you a brief overview, what is pre-setting, what it includes. So first of all, it includes organizations, 3 levels, like we have state, areas of governments, and subordinate agencies. Users and roles, altogether 11 users, classifiers, strategic management, including KPIs, actually. Maybe, sorry, KPIs we don't have. It's my mistake, I believe. And strategy 3, budget limits, state budget for the previous and current year, source financial data in for the next budget period, cost modeling, allocation rules, driver, cost allocation methods. Report templates are described. Also execution transactions and notification settings. All of them are described. There are not so much data, but please follow really carefully the data documents that we provide. And what we actually test during the assignment, what are the main activities? So there are really different tasks. Some of them is import of execution entries, accounting data and follow-up cost allocation of them, comparison of the planned and used funds, carryover of unspent funds, strategy tree updates. So we add some new services, remove some of them, maybe change a hierarchy of the services. Financial source data renewal, cost modeling, preparation and approval of a budget plan on 3 levels. So again, agency, ministry level, and the whole state level. Consolidation of the state budget project, change of user rights, change of the budget limits, and following actions to update financial plans and reports. There are actually quite a lot of things, but yeah, as I say, everything is...
I will resume sharing the information screen once I have regained the view again.
Yeah, just 1 minute, maybe less soon.
Sure. Yeah, I will share the screen again.
Yeah, and now you can move to the next one. So here are some examples of how test tasks look. So all of them contain business logic descriptions, so you would understand what you're actually doing and what you're doing and so on. Just text description, some pre-requirements, so users, data, business rules, everything that is needed exactly in this task. So not all of them, but just for the task specifically. Then we describe test steps that you should follow in the same order as well. And finally, there is acceptance criteria for all the tasks. As I said before, in most of the cases, it's quantitative, so we will understand if it's done correctly or not done, and we will see it as well. But on the next slide, you will see also task number 13. It's a report. So please know that here both numbers and report layout are important. So not only the values that should be exactly the same ones, but also layout and the whole structure of the report is important for us. So I think that's all from my side. So I give it over to Ray.
Thank you. So once you have passed the threshold of this test assignment, meaning that your test assignment results are eligible, we start assessing other, let's say, parts of your offer. We will, and there's quantitative and qualitative criteria. And the first 3 are this cost of licenses, the base amount, and the cost of additional licenses per month, meaning that this is what I mentioned about optionality to purchase this one eye viewing packages. And as we don't know when and we will and if we require to purchase this additional units, that's why we might do it in a 2027 year or later years, and that's why we are asking to provide this figure per month, so that we can actually see, depending on the circumstances. And also the cost of implementation project, inclusive of costs that have been described in this project. And this is also certain quantitative criteria that you have to provide us, meaning that all the costs that you see, that all the reserve time, all this, let's say, buffer, all the additional activities that we have not foreseen, but you, based on your experience, you think that should be covered there as well. And Besides these costs, also in this bottom right corner, I have also agreed, added this reference that we might require you to provide certain consultation and custom software development tasks that are on top of this implementation project. And for this, we require you to provide us these hourly rates so that when we need these additional activities from your side, we can agree upon this and calculate the budget for this as well. So, but this is happens on top of the implementation project. So everything that is inside that we have required in the implementation project, this has to be covered in this cost of implementation project. Okay, and also we have two qualitative evaluation criteria, which is the composition of the implementation project, meaning that everything that we have required that this implementation project must consist of, then we will assess it. So all the assessment criteria for this, how we will assess the composition are also given. So this is the way. And complementary requirements. And as you can see that we are putting a lot of efforts, or let's say emphasis, on this complementary requirement side. Why? Because, as I mentioned, that once you have passed this threshold of test assignment, means that probably your platform is fulfilling the minimum needs that we are seeking for, and meaning that that's why all this. And we want to distinguish the platforms that have reached this moment based on these complementary requirements, and you can see themselves. So it's very, but this way we actually can see that we don't emphasize only the cost side, which gives you maximum 50% of the points, but also the content or this functionality side. And we are requested to present these complementary requirements via demo video, and we don't give you any kind of, let's say, input data to conduct these demonstrations. It's up to you how well or how extensively you want to present them. Just the limit of the video duration is 1.5 hours, so not more. So, okay, let's see further. So what we finally will get once we have completed the implementation and other activities. Outcomes we have from previous years, from 2020 until 2028, we have in our other applications lots of data that are covering state budget and to give some kind of impression what is the size of this data set. So it's 0.5 billion lines per one data set, and we might have around 8 data sets. Of course, the breakdown of these data sets into files, this is totally different story, but we are building this kind of roadmap for this migration on our own, and when it comes to the implementation part, then we will refine it and we'll start implementing it. And also this all the other input information, for example, budget classification, we also provide ourselves, so that to build as soon as possible the foundation from the data perspective, so that we can start testing and compiling processes and reports platform. Also, what this implementation has to provide us is that everything is conducted according to the plan, and we will have 3 environments that will first we will set up the test environment, then pre-live and live. For test environment is like a sandbox for all the testing and all this configuration part, and pre-live is for end users to train, to check or to just experience different features that this platform has, so that they don't, because in test environment we might not have everything running smoothly because we are, let's say, building different things there. But pre-live is like a copy of live. Live environment is for actual production level use. And as I already mentioned, that implementation consists of 4 phases: MVP, non-MVP, launch, and post-launch. MVP basically starts with we will start building the foundation so that all the data migration that can be done in 2007, 2026, and core processes. And in non-MVP, we will focus on finalizing the remaining processes, and also to start compiling the templates for this centrally managed reports. And in the launch phase, we will focus on training, this manuals, communication, and then we will start including also a larger proportion of end users. And in the post-launch phase, this means that already the live environment is up and running. We require consultants to engage with our ministries and agencies to help them to solve their, specific problems that are not centrally managed. For example, they need help with building more specific cost models or more distinguished reports. So this is for consultants are being used for. Trainings also, and we have very specific rules and expectations towards trainings. Please check them out. And this also for manuals, we require different sets of manuals, and this is also part of this implementation efforts from your side. Regarding consultations, as I mentioned, that we have, in altogether more than or around 160 organizations. So, and these organizations are divided between the ministries, and we expect that this consultants will engage each ministry either in parallel or one by one, and ministries will prepare them a list of what are the questions or problems that are unique to these ministries and their subordinate organizations, and the consultants will help them to solve them based on the live environment or this that we have already compiled. So this way we can actually help all our organizations to one by one adopt a new platform. Also, we expect impact to our methodology, because as the platform gives us new opportunities and new ways how to solve our challenges, so that during implementation we want to engage into these dialogues and with these consultants from your side, so that we can actually refresh and rewrite certain parts of our methodology. See further. So once we are in live environment, we will engage into this. We seek your, customer support and product consultation activities. And what this means, customer support from platform perspective, it's not the first tier, meaning that our own administrators will provide the first tier support, and second, and the same, administrators will seek support from the platform side when they cannot themselves resolve something, or for example, we need some kind of very specific information regarding certain logs, for example. And again, this the support has to be available within the working hours of Estonian time zone, and languages either Estonian or English. And the request should but has to be answered within 2 working days. What is very important from our side as well, that as the platform is probably contains lots of features, lots of updates over time, we also want to be up to date. It means that we have said that every month we need to have 30 hours for free as a consultation, and this covers this when you, for example, want to build additional workflows or reports, or we need to troubleshoot something very tricky. So we would spend this time for this kind of consultation, and so that we can require this consultation to be available, and we can use it for benefit. SLA. So uptime is less than 99.9% and more than 99%. And we have seasonality of usage intensity, meaning that there are certain periods of time within the year where our users are very heavily engaged in preparing, compiling state budget versions, and they need to use the platform almost 24/7. And the rest of the time, it is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So this means that during this 24/7 regime, this planned updates and everything, we are rather sensitive to these disruptions. But we have also given you in this SLA documentation that what are the available, let's say, timeframes for any kind of updates or etc. What we expect to have as a parallel user sessions is around 500, meaning that not all the users are always online conducting data processing every day, but this is something that we can expect. Regarding backups, so every midnight we have a rolling update, so you will rewrite the current copy with the new one, and every Friday a whole copy of the database will be stored for the next 3 weeks. Regarding the incident resolution, we have given also this matrix how we will assess what is critical, high or medium type of incident, and based on this context of this incident, we require you to help to resolve it within these time frames. About this restoring for backup, it's 4 hours. So it is also given to you, and this SLA is something that we will stick to. Okay, we have finished this sharing of the highlights of this procurement. And as I promised, we have 1 hour to review these questions. Anastasia, would you like to? I will now won't share him on the screen so that we can focus on the questions.
Yeah, there are several questions. I believe some of them we could briefly answer, but it's better than we answer later more in detail.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is regarding the amount of licenses. So is this amount upfront for 4 years or upfront per annum? Please specify.
As I mentioned, that we are, let's say, purchasing the licenses once this base amount and we will pay for it upfront and once, meaning that there won't be any kind of subscription-based licensing that we can apply in this case, because our financing conditions require us to conduct only a certain type of, let's say, orders.
So next one is a pretty long question. I mean, with the quotes from the documents as well. So what is the expected duration of the free consultation period of 30 hours within a calendar, within a calendar month? So basically, I would try to rephrase. So when this period starts, when they need to provide us.
It starts when we are launching the production environment, meaning that we will, our team, our product team at the ministry will start, needs to start providing support for users, and also we will have to be able to accommodate all the platform changes that will be rolled out continuously. We need to learn it. We need to build up maybe additional workflows, set the new rules or business logic. That means that we need this hand-holding and support. So the moment we are going live, we will engage into this proper customer support and product consultation, let's say, mode.
So there was also a question, is it time limited? Please clarify. So as I understand, yeah, it's time limited. Since launch till the end of the project. Is there a need to install the proposed budget solution on premise for government institutions requiring more security? That's first part of the question.
Well, as I mentioned, that we are seeking to have a SaaS, let's say, platform, meaning that we don't want to install anything on-prem, because the data that we will be processing there is not sensitive when it comes to, let's say, personal information and so on. This is that's why we can afford to use on-prem solutions.
So basically, the second part was if it's needed, then what are the non-functional requirements? But as it's not needed,
yeah.
But we have a document of non-functional requirements anyway.
Yeah.
The next question, I will read it, but I believe we will answer it later. So you need to be able to draft text documents, presentation files, and link the metrics, KPI data used in the document to the data model. Let's keep it because I believe it requires much more time.
We need to go into detail.
But thank you for the question. Next one is also, I believe it's better if we answer in written form. So whether all functional requirements in Appendix 2 must be met, partial fulfillment allowed. If you remember exactly all the parts of Appendix 2, I believe it's better to...
If the document is called functional requirements, then all the functional requirements are obligatory to follow. We don't have any conditional functional requirements. But we will answer it also in written form as well, because this is very important for.
So there is 3 questions in a row. So the second is connected to the previous one, but the third, I will read it and let's decide. I think it also needs some investigation. Does data migration to the new software need to be done with the same level of detail, or it's okay to leave out some intermediate calculations if it's done?
Okay, very good question. We are preparing the harmonized data metadata tables, meaning that everything that we will include to this migration file is already pre-screened, and we will leave out what we don't want to migrate, but everything that is part of this. So basically, we are preparing this data for the migration ourselves, and we already so that we don't import anything that is like intermediary calculations or this non-relevant for the longer term use.
There is one short reconfirmation. You only accept real software as a service platforms and not any kind of hosting solutions, even on Amazon, Azure, or Google. Is it correct?
Let's write it let's answer it in written form. I don't want to jump into this specific at the moment.
Okay, another question about the duration of consultation was the contract must provide the institution's users with a minimum of 8 hours consultation during the consultation phase of the installation project. Is this also free of charge, like the 30 hours per month for the contracting authority?
This last phase of the implementation plan is user consultation, and this is part of the cost of the implementation part. We have given you kind of estimation how many organizations there are and what we are kind of planning this effort per organization from the hours, from the time wise. So this is part of the cost of the implementation plan. So this is not something to be charged extra. If we will, and that's why you can propose that this cost as part of this implementation plan. And so, as I have already detailed there, that we in the Ministry of Finance, we will mediate this consultation requests from the ministries, so that when we see that this consultation need is beyond the time budget that we have left, then we will agree something on top of this implementation plan. But at the moment, this standard, let's say, part of this user consultation has to be part of this implementation plan and its cost.
So another question is, do we have to consider the total cost of implementation is 1.5 million as a cap including support? So basically the question is if 1.5 million is the total cost of implementation including support. Is it correct?
This 1.5 million, this is just that, as I said, that this is our estimation of the breakdown of this total budget, that we are not, we cannot, let's say, set any kind of formula for yourself for this breakdown. We just say that this is based on our, let's say, estimation. And as I already mentioned already, this cost of implementation plan has to cover all the implementation related costs, but everything that is happening after this going production and completing this user consultation, this is not covered by this implementation cost. But as we are purchasing from the platform provider the licenses, so we don't want to pay for anything extra regarding the, this user support. But this has to be part of, as I said, that we are only paying for these licenses and this implementation. Everything else has to be accommodated from your side within these two cost, let's say, parts. Okay.
And the second part is any mandate for the requirements gathering sessions to be in Estonian. We can postpone and answer later as well.
Yeah, because in high level, it has to be Estonian because the content experts that we have, we don't want to get complications when it comes to using terminology in other languages than Estonian, because the terminology defines the answers. But as I said, there are some technical meetings when you talk about, for example, software, building this custom software component, or setting up the platform from technical perspective, all this data backups and local or these other ways. And also this is when it comes to gathering requirements, I would say that we cannot go. We will answer it in a detailed way, but at the moment I'm not so sure that we can accommodate this request.
Yeah, I think we also have a couple of unanswered questions from Tarmo. Tarmo has a lot of questions today, but they're quite detailed, and I believe we better answer them in a written form. All other questions. So basically, the short answer questions we have answered. Others we will answer in a written form for sure. If you have any other questions, maybe let's give another couple of minutes.
Okay.
To write down if somebody has.
Let's say that at the moment it's 16:11. By 16:15, we will review the questions. So we have a 5-minute kind of waiting moment at the moment. So.
One more question also, please specify one more time what type of licenses should be those 100 additional licenses?
Good question. We don't know it yet. So that's why we don't specifically ask the quotes for 100 unit packages for modelers or regular users or viewers, because we don't know it. And that's why at the moment we ask just that 100 unit license, 100 unit packages, and you have to provide one, let's say, figure for this monthly cost. And we cannot break it down because our needs might vary, but in a nutshell, the list of modelers is depending on the amount of organizations, and the number of organizations in Estonian central government is not varying or changing very often, maybe plus minus to 1 every year, but not anything more. So it means that the number of modelers that we will cover with licenses in this base amount is already covered, and the rest of the users, the regular users and the viewers, and this is something that will probably we will cover with these additional licenses. And the number of administrators, this is also rather fixed because our product team will be using them from day one. So this kind of answers your question, but not completely.
Yeah. So far, no more new questions.
Okay, we wait 2 minutes more, and then we start concluding this session.
Yeah. Regarding this 100 additional licenses as well, in this case, the providers are on an unequal situation. Some offer 100 viewers, some 100 modelers.
Yeah, but price-wise, it is equal situation because we need the one figure and somebody, and we don't know exactly what kind of users we will cover with this. But I understand the modelers are the most expensive, so this way that I can I can't promise because this is not something that we will set on. We have described already, but we can give you this kind of the same breakdown that you saw from this in this base load is also attributable to this additional 100 unit packages. So this is the answer we can give you. Okay, 1 minute more. Again, you can always post your questions in this procurement registry as well, because okay.
Are you flexible enough to shorten the implementation times if we will provide ready-to-use applications?
Well, this implementation plan and the time estimations are up to you to provide us, because we don't know the platform, but we have our requirements, and we don't, let's say, everything is, let's say, once we select the winner, we will first get to know the platform and understand its complexity and its configuration aspects, and this way we will start to understand how and why you have provided us these estimations when it comes to this time budget and this timeline and so on. So we can say that we have described or let's say outcomes that we want to achieve with this implementation, and but we have not restricted let's say time periods. So this way kind of answers to this question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our time is up at the moment. Thank you for attention. We had around 40 external visitors or participants in this session, and I hope that you got some insight, and also please take time and review this documentation, because we have taken time to compile it, and all the documents carry their own weight and include lots of details and explanations why, how, and we want to why we have set some certain conditions and requirements, and of course you can ask them about them via this procurement register as well, because we want you to understand what you seek for, and also we want you to also provide us nice offers in this way, that we can have some let's say very busy time in February and March in order to determine who is the best offer given the evaluation criteria. Okay, thank you, Anastasia, for helping me out, and so happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you as well, and hear from you next. Hope to hear from you next year. Okay, goodbye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.